What's that handle doing there? Well, it don't matter now. Well, that was covering up an IP address or some crap like that. But anyway, let me wake this up and close that and show you what we're dealing with here. This is a Dell Dimension 4600C. It's got Windows XP. It's missing, it's supposed to have like a whole coverall for the front. It's missing that. Had a bad hard drive and a dead power supply when it came to me. And for some reason I decided to fix it. Now, I'm not going to take everything apart here. As you can tell, it's kind of a mess because everything's just piled on top of shit because I was trying to get stuff done and whatever. So anyway, it's just here and I'll have to clean all this up another time. But if you look, move that, here's a ATX power supply with all of its nice cables. These are actually sheathed. Whoever this power supply, which was also free by the way, belonged to, thought that it was bad and had to replace it and left this behind, but of course it wasn't bad, and it's got dual fan for what it's worth. The old power supply used to live there. It's gone now, and all the wires just run inside. And that's how this thing gets its juice. And of course I replaced the power supply. SP diff or optical, little diagnostic LEDs. The network is currently out because I have the Linskys disconnected. And I just reloaded the OS because this has been sitting with a bad hard drive for a long time. Although I rigged the power supply up eons ago and it was a functional machine without anything, but looks like I might have a little more work to do. It's still a little pokey here and there. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I just figured I'd load the OS and whatever applications and crap I use just so it's handy. But it's here. This particular monitor is part of the haul from Nick, and I'm going to be doing little segments on all that stuff, like the Dell switch that you saw in the previous video. But this is a gateway monitor, FPD 1510, so I guess it's 15 inch. And as you see, it's laying flat because it has no mount. But, you know, that doesn't mean anything. I can make a mount for it. Nothing's screwed in. It's just sitting there. Even came with a power supply, but not a power cord, but it's a standard IEC plug. They got a green clean light on it, and everything's here, and it looks like it's fairly simple to take apart. The screws are a little funky in there, but whatever. I guess they're, not sure if they're Phillips or Torx. But anyway, it's there. It works. It's certainly a nice clean picture, depending, you know, I mean, from this angle it looks very mottled. But as soon as you come up like that, that's a nice, bright, clean picture. And it's backlit with, you know, real CCFL, called cathode fluorescent tubes. So it certainly is a decent, nice monitor. All the buttons actually work, unlike the knackered HP monitor. You know, so I just turned it off and back on. It goes into low power mode, shuts the backlight. It's got on-screen display and all kinds of fancy shit. And interestingly enough, it also has a source/set button. And when you press that, it just kind of hunts around for where it can go and gives up and goes back to its input signal that it has. Because this actually has DVI in addition to VGA and of course your power there. So certainly an interesting little monitor. And you know, like I said, it all depends on your viewing angle. It looks terrible from here, but as soon as you lift it up, it looks great. And of course my camera can never focus on LCD screens. But anyway, that's that. So I got a working machine here. This just so you have the specs, just in case you weren't interested anyway. Here we'll kind of come up with an aerial view, and I can't see what I'm doing here. But it's a P4 2.66 with 512 megabytes of random access memory. and Device Mangler. This was actually an interesting machine because the USB controller refused to work at USB 2 speeds until you installed Service Pack 2, and I think this machine came pre-Service Pack 2, but I'd have to, you know, run all the numbers and dates and crap like that. But anyway, it was a nice pain in the ass to get the USB 2 working, but it does work now. I don't know why it was hanging up before, but you know, it's nice and quick. Load Adobe Acrobat Reader, and that's loading right up. So it certainly runs pretty speedy. So that's it on this machine.